morning, good evening, good middle of the day, wherever you're watching from. I'll just have a find of my video on my laptop. There we go, nice and easy this morning, and I got it straight. Thank you. Say hi if you're watching. I know a few people won't be on just yet, but we'll get started soon. Hope everyone's having a lovely day or morning or evening, wherever you are. Let us know where you're from when you're watching. I'm going to do this, it's called a diamond point card. Really, really easy to do. Still waiting for someone to come on. I missed last week because I had my daughter-in-law's baby shower. Hello, Donna Smith from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Thanks for watching. Hello, Sandy from Oklahoma. You're all probably evening over there, and it's nice and early in the morning here, Saturday morning, and I've got a class to go to this afternoon, which will be the last one for this year, to my friend Deb's place. Looking forward to that. It's her break-up Christmas party, so I have a little afternoon tea as well. Hello, Marianne. Thanks for joining me. I'll wait until a few more are on. I think it's a little bit of a delay when it first starts, so. And I got it straight first go. Nice for the end of the year coming up. Hello, Joy. Watching from hospital. Just had knee replacement. I hope you're doing well. I had both my knees replaced at the same time. Quite a few years ago now, back in 2011 or 12 or something like that. Quite a while ago. So I hope you're doing well. Mine went really well. I was in hospital only 5 days, I think. And I was off my crutches after a couple of days and never looked back. Hello, Brenda from, I'm not sure where. Hello, Fahir. It's Friday evening, 5 p.m. in Oklahoma. Yes, nice time to be watching a video. Mine's 9 a.m. here in the morning. I'm all awake and ready to go. Hello, Janice. Ontario, Canada, from Ontario, Canada. Thanks for joining us. I love, Janice comments a lot on my YouTube videos. She's got lovely comments there. Thanks, Janice. Hello, Gay and Jenny. Thanks for watching. And thank you all so much for sharing your cards. I did put, hello, Marilyn. Hello, Heather. Thanks for watching. Heather's moved from Brisbane, well, what I call Brisbane, part of Brisbane, out to Emerald. So, long way away now. What was I saying before? I'm not sure where I was. Oh, thank you for sharing all your cards. I did put up a post yesterday, only because it's gone a little bit quiet in my group, people not sharing. And some people have been members members for quite a few years. I've been going for over 3 years now with this group, and they're not sharing, and that's what the group is all about. So I don't mind if it's not Stampin' Up products. That doesn't matter to me. It's the creation that you make. And if you know the name of the fold, please put that on your post as well. And if you're liking someone else's post and you've done a card similar, don't share it in their post. Create your own and put your cards in there. If you share a card in someone's post, you can only put one photo in there. Whereas if you create your own post, you can put as many as you like. You can put a dozen or more if you wish. So it's a better way to display your cards. If you're not sure how to share your cards, create a post and share, just private message me. I'm happy to help you out. I can send you some screenshots of where to go to do it. I noticed one lady this morning commented and said that she doesn't know how to share her cards. And it's quite simple. so long as you take a photo of your card first, and we can go from there. But just private message me if you're wanting a little bit of help with that. So, who have we got? That's it for now, so far. Marilyn Mackay is from New Zealand. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Mackay, or Mackay, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. From New Zealand. Nice to have you on. We will get started, only because I've got something else on today, but I've usually got plenty of time to get organised. Hubby's gone to golf. He's going to mow the lawn this afternoon. We went to his eye specialist yesterday, just a quick little story, and I really didn't want to go because he just goes and comes back, and it's a couple of hours wasted for me. And he said, oh, we'll go for lunch somewhere after. So I said, all right. So I went with him. Lucky I did, because they had to put drops in his eyes and he wasn't allowed to drive home. So lucky I went. Then we called into where I often go for lunch with some friends of mine. We called into that shopping centre for lunch, and the place where we normally go was closed for renovation. So I'm glad I went there, because my two friends that I go with, we were going there this Wednesday for lunch. So I rang one of them and I said, oh, we can't go there. We'll have to find somewhere else to go, because they're not going to be open. So it all worked out in the end. Good story. Hello, Suzette. Finally getting to watch your live, joining from Caloundra, not far away at all, just a few hours up the coast. Okay, we shall get started, and as you know, my name is Laura Stranks, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. This group is not exclusive to Stampin' Up!, it's exclusive to card sharing. I can't stipulate that enough. I've got a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. If you want to go in and follow that page, it's nothing, there's no tutorials or anything in there. It's just photos of my cards that I do. I do sell my cards within Australia only. So if anyone's here and they want to have a look on there, it's the ones that I do at my workshops and classes. I put them all in there. If you're watching today, you're in my group, and it's called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. And welcome to my group if you're new. Vicky Lee, hello, we've just started. Sorry I'm late, doing a bit of weeding. Overcast and sunny coast, Caloundra. Yeah, it's overcast here as well, but it's not as hot as yesterday, thank goodness. It was quite muggy yesterday. So have a look in my tips and tutorials group. In the files tab, you'll find all the PDFs for these cards, as well as my YouTube cards, the videos that I do. And in the featured tab, I just pin things there that are important that I don't want to get lost in the feed, like the measurements for today, and any other important things. If you just leave them in the feed, they get lost. They end up going further and further down. The more people that post, the further down they get. So if I put them in the featured tab, then they stay there, and you can always just duck in there and have a look at the whatever you need to see. There's not a lot in there. The photos tab at the top, all these tabs are along the top of the group, just under the banner. In the photos tab, there are lots and lots of photos. Everyone's photo that has ever posted anything is in there. So if you want a quick look at just photos without scrolling through all the posts, go to the photos tab. There's lots of ideas in there. If you click on the photo, it will take you to where the person or the member has posted that card in the group. My YouTube channel is called Creative Gems, which is also the same name as my private Facebook group. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel, but you can't be a member of my private group. It's just for my team members and a few ladies that come to my workshops and a couple of honorary members. It's not one that you join. So it's just mainly me wanting to let the other girls know of updates and all. It's all to do with Stampin' Up! In there. So if you're not a Stampin' Up! Person, you wouldn't be interested anyway. So we'll put that boring bit aside, and this is what we're doing today. It's called a diamond point card, and as you can see, we've got the point here. It's very easy to do. I'll show you the papers. This one here is one of the new papers. This one, it's called Brushed with Beauty, and it's one of the new online ones at the moment. Bit disappointed in the petal pink colour because I did get a new stamp pad actually for the, it's not petal pink. Yes, it is petal pink. The stamp pad, it comes out really orangey. It's not a pretty colour. It's a really deep colour, whereas if it was more like this soft colour, it would be okay. But there are some nice papers in there. I've used quite a bit of that. So that's that card there. And then this one is my good old favourite, which is called Peaceful Garden. And that's that one there. Lots of pretty papers. I'm a blue person, so I love all the blues. It's got the doves in it and some neutral colours as well. So that's that one. That's the 2 on those cards. Really easy to do. This one here, at first, I didn't do it correctly, so I had to adjust a few things, but you wouldn't know it. And then this one here is correct. You just need to work out where these little bits are going to go. So that's what we're doing today. I'll just put those up there. And I did post the measurements, and they're in the featured tab. I've got Australian and US. US, all it is your normal standard card base. Actually, it's a little bit different. That comes down to your normal card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and then you score it at 4 1/4. Whereas for Australian, we're normally 5 7/8, but I've gone to the nearest quarter mark, 5 3/4, only because you need to work out halfways. And if you do 5 7/8 halfway, you're into 16ths, which doesn't work. So if ever it's a one that you've got to mark halfway marks, I usually drop it back to 5 3/4. It's not that much difference, but it does fit in a standard envelope. So, and I'm doing it in the red today. This is the paper I'm using, which is Traditions of Christmas. I bought lots of this, so I'm making lots of cards with this paper. As you can see, I've chopped it up heaps. Really pretty paper. This here is one of the images that I've cut out with the die. There's a couple of images that cut out with the dies. I'm not sure. That's another one there. It's got a die that cuts out the whole image. Very pretty paper with that one. So this piece now, I'll give you the US measurements as we go, but they're just at the bottom here, and they will be in the featured tab, and they will be in the PDF, which I'm going to I'll pin the PDF to the Files tab when I'm finished the video. And I will upload this video to YouTube, provided it goes all well. A couple of times I've done a video and it didn't turn out very nicely, so I didn't bother uploading it. But if it works out fine, I do upload it. Hello, Elizabeth. Good morning. And Jenny, love this fold, fun fold. Love this fold, points. Marianne Davis. Hello, thank you. Okay, I've already scored this at 4 1/8 on the long side. So at the 8 1/4, I'll go through the scoring in a minute. And then my mats, I shall do. I've got Old Olive and then a piece of this one. 5.5 by 3 7/8. That's my mat there. The mat, the base for US is 5.5 by 8.5, and then the mat's 5 1/4 by 4. And then the DSP, this is the Australian, 5 1/4 by 3 5/8, which is that one. And the DSP on this one is 5 by 3 3/4. You don't need to write all these down. You'll find them in the PDFs. And then we have the inside mat. I've got the green, 5 5/8 by 4, which is the coordinating colour again. You could just do the white. I decided to do this inside, and I'll show you why when we get to it. It's to do with, that one there is a bit different. I made it just the 1/16. It's to do with this, so you end up with a little bit more detail at the bottom of this here if you do a matte and then your white, instead of just putting the white on the base. So I've got that, and it's 1/16 border around that, not the normal 1/8 inch border. So the matte is 5 5/8 by 4, and then the white is 5.5 by 3 7/8, and that's those two. I'm not doing anything on those just yet. We're going to stick some flowers on them. Scrap cardstock for your decorations and greeting, and some embellishments. The mat for inside on the US is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and the white is 5 1/4 by 4. That is all you need on that. Now we shall get started. I've got my decorations there, so we'll do those in a minute. Now you'll need your trimmer or whatever you normally cut and score with. It doesn't necessarily mean that you... Oh, we've got to mark this first. I'll do it in the right order. I need a pencil and my ruler. Now, you need to mark... I've already scored this at 4 1/8, which is there, because it's half of 8 1/4. So that's scored there. And I'm not folding it just yet. Now I need to mark the halfway mark. This is going to be my front, or it doesn't matter which one, but I'm going to have this as my front. So I'm going to mark it at halfway, and half of 5 3/4 is 2 7/8. So there, and we're going to put a little pencil mark at 2 7/8. I'll put it on the score line. You can rub it out later. So then you'll get your trimmer. And what you need to do is put on the diagonal one point up there in your track and the other point down here on the diagonal, the longest area in the two tracks. And then when you drop your, you could do this freehand, or not freehand, but with a ruler and a stylus. One of these stylus with the smaller point, not the big bally point, and do your ruler this way. Put your ruler down and score, but you're only scoring to this center point. But if you put your ruler there and there, exactly the same as you've got your track, and that pencil mark there is your center point. So you're going to score, I'm going to cut actually. So you could put a pencil line there and then freehand cut it. You don't need a trimmer if you haven't got one. But I'm going to do it on my trimmer. And I'm putting the 2 points in the track. And then when I drop my blade, drop my arm, this arm, down, that pencil mark should be in, you should be able to see it in the track. And I'm going to start, which I can't see it exactly, but I'm going to start just that side of it, so I don't end up cutting across the score line. We can do the last snip by hand. So I'm going that way a little bit and just cut down like so. And as you can see, I've gone a little bit shy of the pencil mark there, so I'm going to get my snips and I'm going to cut up to, you're better off to go shorter than too long, otherwise you'll end up with it over on the back side of your base. So then fold that one under. I'll just have a mouthful. Hello, Beth. Do we just these for US cards? If you're doing the US one for here, your what'll I tell you? For US, you're scoring your base at 4 1/4 instead of 4 1/8. I did 4 1/8, so you will score it at 4 1/4, and then for US, halfway of your 4 1/4 is 2 3/4. No, not that one. 2 3/4. Wait till I just double check that. 2 1/8. That should be halfway. 4 1/4. 2 1/8 is halfway. I'll just fix my PDF. 2 1/8. So you'll pencil mark at 2 1/8 there, and then everything else is exactly the same until we get down a little bit further. So mark your 2 1/8, and then cut from that point. If you line up your ruler or your trimmer at the 2 1/8 there for US, and then fold this back And then you're going to go this way. Make sure you fold that under so it's out of the road. Then you're going to put that point in the track and this point down here, because we're going to remove this front section. And I'm going to go a little bit this side of the where the point is there in the track, so I don't end up cutting part of my back base. And then I've got that there, so I'll go up there a little bit and then down like so. The US measurements will be on the PDF as well, so I've just snipped that last little bit there. So that piece came out of there. Then you can fold that and you end up with that, with the two diamondy bits. And this piece you need, we're going to do with that. I'll just put that aside and we'll burnish this here. I hope that made sense for here. Okay, she's right. And I will rub out that little bit of a pencil mark there. I can see it on the back as well. So that's all you need to do with that for the minute. So this piece here, we need to cut our mat, our front mat and our DSP exactly the same. I'll make sure I've got the right piece here. So that's this, leave that there. So this piece here measures 2 3/4. Where am I? 5 1/2 is the mat, so I'll double check that. That's 5 1/2, so halfway is 2 3/4. I'm just putting a pencil mark at 2 3/4. Halfway for the US should be 2 5/8. So I think, hang on a minute. 5 1/2 by 4. 5 1/4. Sorry, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. Yes, 2 3/4. Right on, that one's 2 3/4. 5 1/2. Australian is 2 3/4. US is 2 5/8. I'll make sure that the PDF is correct. 2 5/8. I'll just double check. Halfway. 2 1/2. 2 5/8. 2 5/8 is half of your, or the halfway mark on your mat. So then you're going to get your trimmer again, and we're going to cut from that pencil mark down to this point here. Just do halves on the measurements that I put up the other day for here. Just go from those and do a halfway mark on them. I'll just go down there, take that bit away. We need that piece. Just put that up there. And then the same this way. So you're going to put that point there and this one down here. And I don't bring it from the bottom here. I start in the center, because if you start there at that point, you're just as likely to drag it and drag the corner of your cardstock. So that's that piece there. Get that out of the trimmer. And we need this piece as well, so that'll go on there. And then your DSP is the same. 2 5/8 for Australian, and it should be 2 1/2. I'll double check my PDF before I put it up. 2 5/8 is half of this one. The length is 5 1/4, so half is 2 5/8. So we'll mark halfway on that, which will be hard to see on this paper. Oh no, it's not. It's easy. Then you're going to cut from that point there down to your point out here on the side. Make sure you've got your long piece. The marking that you put on is on the long side. So that goes there. Start in the middle and up and down. So that's that one. And the same this way. We'll rub out those pencil marks in a minute. And then that one goes there. Make sure you hold it that it doesn't move when you're cutting. And we'll put that aside. So those will go on that. And this one here, you're going to flip it over and it will fit in there. And they fit in there nicely. I'll rub out all my pencil marks on that. Can't see them on most of them. Can't see them on that. This one here's got a little one. And then this one will go on this cutout piece. So you'll have that and then that. You need to adhere all these together before you put them on back on your base. So we'll do that, and those two will go together. Must be wind outside. I can hear it. So I'm going to glue all these together. First, we'll just use liquid glue because I want to make sure that they're nicely centered. New bottle this morning. Make sure you flip this center one unless you want it the same pattern. I think I mentioned on the thing the other day when I put up the measurements to make sure you like both. You do need double-sided paper, and that you like both sides of the paper when you choose your colors. Some papers you like one side and not the other. Because this has been flipped, you can see it leaves that rough edge. So just run along it with your bone folder, which I've got a little bit of glue oozing out there. So just run that along like so. Just move that down a little bit. And then that one will go on there. Whoops. Now I'm going to make sure I get it the right way. So this one will go on the red piece that you cut out of the middle before. Very simple cards, just getting your cuts right. Make sure it's exactly halfway when you do your cuts. And that's just got the little 1/16 border around on that one. It's 1/8 on the green and then 1/16 onto the red. So that's that one. And then these two together, which I can't pick up. I should have my silicone mat out, otherwise we'll end up with glue everywhere. Make sure you glue on the correct side. Yes, Jenny, I love this paper too. I bought extra thinking I needed it for I've got a Christmas break up next Sunday, not tomorrow, next week. And one of the cards that I'm doing, I thought I needed more of this paper, so I ordered a couple of packs, and then I found out I had enough. So the paper turned up anyway, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll use it. So this has got just the 1/16 border around, the same as on there. And then that one will go on there, and then this one here. If I've got my measurements right, then it all should line up. It's funny, I was making a card yesterday, and it was one of my own that I've done, I think, 2.5, nearly 3 years ago. And I thought, yeah, I know how to do this. So I cut all the pieces, and then I was putting part of it on, and it was wrong. I knew it was wrong, and I couldn't get it up, and I left it. I walked away and left it, and didn't come back to it till this morning, and I knew what I'd done wrong, so I ended up watching my own video to make sure I got it right the second time. Not often I have to watch my own video to work out what I'm doing. Bit strange, but I got there. It's all good now, just got to finish it off. So I'm going to put these onto this here, And that's got the little 1/16 border around again. Just come back and I purchased 2 packs. It's beautiful. Yes, it is. I could use it. Well, even if I don't use it all up this year, I can use it. I'll use it again next year for my own personal cards. I did some cards the other day, all different, but I used the same paper, but all different patterns. So I'll just keep using it because it's really pretty paper. And that one's going on there. If we lay that out flat, you can see the border around like so. Hi from the road, currently in Gingin, camping, Gloria. I know where Gingin is, out in Western Queensland, I think. Pretty sure it's in Queensland. Nice to have you on. Something to watch while you're travelling. I know a lady that comes to my workshops, Glenda, she's been travelling for over nearly 12 months, I think. This one goes this way now. And she's back now, but she was doing cards and stuff while she was away and watching videos. And so it's a nice hobby to have. You can always take it with you. So next, before I put this piece in, I'm going to put this in and this. Well, I'm not going to put this white one, but I'm going to put this one in. If you do it in this order, it can't go wrong, says Laura, who sometimes makes mistakes. Try not to, but it does happen. I had my friend over last Monday and we were I showed you the photo of the table. It was a disaster. We spent hours trying to work this card out and it just would not work. It just wouldn't fold shut properly. We had all the measurements right and we double checked and everything, but it just, and I'd done one years ago, the same pattern, but we were trying to alter a few things on it, and by altering it, it wouldn't work. So anyway, on to the next one. So this one, I'm just going to hold it here for now. You can glue your mat in, but don't glue your white one in just yet. I'm just going to hold it there where it's going to go. Close this down. And this is going to come in under here, that way, like so. I'm just going to hold that there. Make sure everything's in place. If you lift that up, make sure that it'll go from point to point from the side of your card. And that just, it doesn't have to be perfect here because you're going to stick it in correctly after. Close that shut and just do a really light, you can rub this out, really light pencil mark there. So you know where your pieces are going to sit on your, if you end up going over here, you're going to cut off your pieces. And what I've cut are these little, I've got all this done. I've got these, I fussy cut these out of the paper. So I'm going to sit them so that they end up going like so. And I can glue them onto the white. You could stamp in here, just stamp something if you don't want to put any sort of die cut or fussy cut. I'll just get my tweezers. I was using my tweezers this morning. Well, I thought they were my tweezers and I thought these feel different. And then I realised they belong to my crafting buddy that was here on Monday. She accidentally took home, I can't remember what it was now, something of mine. And I said, oh, I'll just bring it. Oh, my glue dots. I said, that's fine, I got plenty more. And then this morning, and I hadn't used my tweezers all week, and when I was using them this morning, I knew they felt different to what it's funny how you get used to, these had a really, really fine point. So I knew they weren't mine. And then I saw mine in my little caddy thing here. So I messaged her because I thought they could only be hers because she's the only one that's been here. So I messaged her and I said, have you lost your tweezers? Because I've got a spare pair here. She says, I've been looking for those all week. So, yes, I've got them. She said, at least I got my craft room tidied up because when you lose something, you pull everything out and then you tidy it up. And I said, well, at least I helped you get your craft room tidy. So I'll rub out the pencil lines, and those little pieces should be in the correct spot. Do your pencil lines really lightly so that they're easy to get off again. So then you can glue this in here. We'll just double check, and you can see that. And this piece will go up in here. We'll put the white piece in first. Liquid glue. I didn't do it. We've got our pre-order for the 2026 mini catalogue out now, but I didn't do a very big order. I wasn't happy with some of the stuff that was in there, or the normally years ago I can remember ordering just about everything out of a mini catalogue. It was all so nice. You ordered most of the stuff. But this one, I found one sweet, couple of odd stamp sets and some ribbon, I think, and some other stuff. And that was it for me. I was so disappointed. You wait all this time for these catalogues and then not happy. That there is not quite right. See if I can pull that over a bit. No, it's not going to move, but it's not quite right there. But that'll be right up the top, so we won't see too much. Just make sure your mats are on correctly. So here, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the top here. I'm going to try and miss the middle here because it'll end up in that point over there. So you can just put it along the top edge here. You could put the glue on that part there. I was missing that bit. I'll just get a tissue for a minute. I don't think it'll show there anyway. I'll just miss that little bit in the middle. Make sure it's straight. Just a small amount of glue along the top. Make sure that points are inside the card. Bring that down and that down. And the point, if you push that right up, your point should just be on the bottom of the card. Hold that down for a sec. Trudy, yes, totally. I have ordered a couple of things. I'm leaving the sweet. I haven't ordered the sweet yet that I like. It's a double one. It's quite expensive. I'm leaving that till January because I've done my CSV for this quarter, and I need some, and I know I won't be ordering much more. So I've left the sweet until the next quarter, which will be pretty much all I need to do for the next quarter. I'll just wait. I don't need it over Christmas because I won't be crafting as much. I'll be away. So I'll wait until the 1st of January and then do my next order. Not happy. So that's the base of my card. And then this piece, I've die cut this out of the paper. I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. You could put glue under here. Actually, I'll see if I can get a little bit under there. Put that down as well because I can see it's gappy under there. So just squeeze a bit. You could do that before you. If you put it on the top section, that's a bit too much. Got glue everywhere now. That's all good. Glue that whole piece down. If you put your glue on, oh, look at it, it's everywhere. It's all right, you won't see that. Oh, that's where it's coming from, off my tissue. Put it on your upper piece here. You can see where it needs to go. So you don't end up with glue everywhere. I don't normally have glue everywhere. So I'm going to pop this up. Make sure it's not sitting up above that. And I know it's okay down the bottom here. So I'll just put some dimensionals on this to sit it up a little bit. We'll just go down the bottom here. Thanks for joining in, Trudy. Hello, Ray. Don't forget, Ray, we've got a card class at Deb's this Arv. Hello, Connie. Just remind you, Ray, because it's Saturday today and we've got a class at Deb's. So make sure you turn up. Ray got one of the classes, I think it was the last month or a while ago. She got the dates mixed up and missed the class. And Ray doesn't like to miss classes. Ray comes to my classes as well. Lovely lady. So I'm popping that up in the middle there. How pretty is that? It doesn't really need a lot of other decoration. And this, because I couldn't get something, because that went way up there, I didn't want to cover it. So this punch is one of the new punches, which is this one here, the 3 banner punch, and I've used this. This here is if you want to do an extension on the end, you cut that and that, or 1 or 2 of those or that, and you can extend your banner. So if you cut another one of those, you can put a mat behind it. Or if you want it with the point like so, you can do that way. Really good punch. There is a stamp set that goes with that as well. I didn't get the stamp set. I might get it later. So I'm going to pop that one there. And this one over here. They just fit in there. And I'll pop them up on dimensionals as well. Hello, Tina. Nice to have you on. Tina, I have put up a post in the workshop breakup next Sunday. Can you please, when you get a minute, please read it, because there's lots of important information in there about next Sunday. And I'd like everyone to read it. When you have read it, just give it a like or comment, whatever you like. It's most important that you read it before you come. A lot of the ladies have already commented. Everyone's paid, which is nice. I wanted everyone to pay before the event, because then I don't have to chase money on the day, which everyone's done. One job out of the road. So I've just popped some of those dimensionals on the backs of those. And we'll pop those under there. Move that over a little bit. That's further this way. That's better. There we go. How easy is that? I did take a while because I was trying to explain different things. Get this glue lid back on before it oozes everywhere. And I've got some embellishments. These are my flat, low profile dots. I'm going to use some of these gold ones. Pick tool over here. I'll use some little ones on the flowers. Now don't freak out how many I use, because I do like using lots of bling. I've got 5 little ones here. These are my favourite out of the annual catalogue. That's those, and I'll do a couple of big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put some up here. There we go. All done. I hope you enjoyed that. Tidy up my mess. Put everything away. And that's it. Your diamond point card. I think whatever paper you choose, that's what makes the card so pretty. You can have all sorts of designs, but thank you, Libby. I'm in South Island, New Zealand. I did a holiday in the South Island for 3 weeks, at least 5 years ago now. It was, yeah, about 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. We did all of the South Island with my brother and his wife. It was a lovely place to visit. Thanks, Marianne. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Gay. That's it from me. I shall go and tidy up and get ready for my class this afternoon. I shall upload the PDF for this. I'll double check my measurements first. So I know one of them I put wrong, but I'll fix that. And I will upload it to YouTube so you can find it in there. It will be called Diamond Point Card, and then in brackets after live replay. I put the live replay there so you know it's the one from my Saturday morning live. And that's it from me. I shall see you all again next Saturday at 9 a.m. Brisbane time. And not sure what time it is everywhere else in the world, but I'll see you then. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.